Hi, I'm Susan, and today I'm going to do something a little weird, but stick with me. I like to explore the properties of the paints and materials I'm going to use in a painting. Before I start the painting, I like to try to do a dry run and see what the colors, test the colors, test the mark making tools. And today I came across this little baggie of old paint that I had popped out of the palette some years ago, a few years ago, when I closed my painting studio. And I had several palettes filled with paints, good paints actually, for my students to pop in and paint and have a wonderful day and then go home without having to carry their paints back and forth. So when I was closing my studio one day, I popped some paints out of those palettes and I put them in a baggie, and I fortunately wrote the names of the paints, the colors, and stuck them to the blobs of paint that I had pulled out of my palette. Well, today I thought it might be fun to take some out and give them a try. I am going to do a painting with these, but today I'm just going to take a few minutes and tell you what I learned about trying these colors out, just the chunks of color. So join me. Now that I've laid out my colors, I jumped right in and gave Viridian a try. I dipped it in water and I tried to color with it as though I'm using a watercolor crayon, and I could barely get any color onto the paper. It's kind of a brittle, in fact crumbly, a little bit crumbly paint. So I laid it down and I got a stiff brush and I really scrubbed to try to get some color. I didn't get a lot of color, much to my surprise, but there's some there, and I will circle back and try Viridian a little bit later. Now I'm going to give organic vermilion a try, and it is delightful. All I had to do was just put a little water on it, and oh my, it's quite lovely. Trying my fingers to do a little finger painting there. Next up is carmine, dipped carmine, and again, beautiful, luscious color, very creamy, right off the bat, just adding a little bit of color. So now we're going to quinacridone pink. We'll try that with a little water. Oh, it's lovely. Just lovely. Usually I wet my colors when they're in the palette before I begin to do any painting, because that's just a really good routine to be in. Quinacridone rose was a little bit hard getting started, but it didn't take much priming for it to reconstitute a little bit. I'm looking forward to doing a painting with these chunks in a fashion similar to if I were holding watercolor crayons. I don't know what blue this is. It's either cobalt or ultramarine, doesn't matter. I'll be using this blue. It's pretty and nicely reconstituted. Going back to my Viridian, just out of curiosity, now that it's been sitting with water, it did help. So that one is going to take a little more time, and that's good to know, because when I wet my palette, I know that I'm going to really have to wet that color before I start painting with it. So this is Cobalt Violet, and it's doing something similar to what Viridian did. It's kind of surprising and frustrating, a little bit frustrating. So I re-wet it, and I'll circle back around and check out Cobalt Violet a little bit later. In this video, I'm just playing with these colors and seeing what my options are. I always like to test out my colors before I do a painting, and I will be doing a painting with these chunks. Okay, that's quite beautiful. That's Hooker's Green. And coming up, this is Cadmium Yellow Medium. I really don't know what this is. I think it's a little chunk of burnt sienna, but I'm not sure. It's just something that was in the bag. I didn't mark it. Maybe raw umber. Okay, this one is nickel titanate. Nickel titanate. Not a lot out of that initially, but I have a feeling it's going to do what the mauve did and the Viridian. It must have extra binder or oxgall in it that makes it a little bit crispy. It's hard to describe, and that's why I felt like it would be nice to show this video so that you too can check these things out. So we're circling back around and checking out the Cobalt Violet. You can't see it off screen here, but I'm trying with a stiff brush to get a little more violet, and now it's relaxing a little bit. It's able to be reconstituted. Cobalt Violet, yeah. So I'm confident that these more challenging colors will be beautiful to work with once I give them a little bit of time to soften and reconstitute. Okay, this is a little piece of mauve. It's a Richardson mauve, and it's similar to Carbazole Violet. So that's a beautiful color. Well, thank you for watching today, and keep your eye open. I'm going to be doing a painting with these chunks and a few embellishments. Don't forget to subscribe.